Hello friends, today topic engineering behind mileage. Let us understand more. So for mileage, lot many topics are important. Acceleration, gear shift, anticipation. Let us understand more detail. So anything if you spend more than what is required, it is acceleration. So acceleration is required but not all the time. So when you just push it from the engine power, then it runs on a engine power. Then if you are using an inertia force, then you don't want to spend any fuel, it runs on its own. So we'll understand what is it. So zero fuel, this is very interesting and this is very important when you bother about mileage and understand more detail about it. How to operate only at zero fuel most of the time, of course not all the time possible, but most of the time. We know in a powertrain there are different configurations. These things are made in such a way that you get a more mileage. So graph here, it shows very clearly engine speed versus torque. I am speaking only about the engine, not about the vehicle. If you see on an engine, red area is where you get low mileage, green is a better mileage, and orange where it gets a moderate mileage. So all our targets should be there to operate at best mileage. The question arises, why these different colors? This is all combustion and the other phenomena of engine, airflow, injections, combustion delay, lot many things are background. So let us operate on green zone most probably, but if sometime we operate on red, it's fine because we cannot run at one speed all the time. So if you are operating at third gear and gear, you get a better mileage. If you are operating on fifth gear, fine, but somewhere on 80 kmph you get slightly a different mileage. It's okay. So as I told you, anticipating is one important thing. This is very important. Braking is wastage of energy, so don't brake unnecessary. Brake only when it is required. So how do we understand this on a mileage front of? From accelerator pedal, from the fuel it goes to the engine, and that's how you get a power. So if you see in more detail, when I want to get more power, I will just energize the injector, because everyone knows injector is an important part of engine, and this injects some fuel into the engine. That's why you get a power. So injector injects a fuel, you get a power. Now how do I calculate mileage, or how do I show that in the cluster? Yes, current, I just energize the current. So current is getting converted to fuel because it's a electromechanical solenoid. So fuel is getting injected, I get a power. So what you're reading mileage now is indirectly from the software. This is where software plays an important role. It is measuring the current and it is indirectly telling it. So it's an indirect measurement. So don't believe 100% it is perfect whenever it shows. There can be plus or minus 10% tolerance. So the sequence is very simple as I mentioned here. Injector current equivalent to that fuel comes out. Vehicle will be running. From the vehicle speed sensor, this compares both and say how much fuel has been consumed for each and every kilometer. So this depends on the raster, which means that how fast we calculate. It can be every second, every millisecond, or every minute. Mostly it will be on the seconds. So every second or every few seconds it measures the fuel injected onto the fuel and the kilometer cover, and then it shows us a mileage for you. So mileage is kmpl, kilometer per liter. This is what it shows in your vehicle, or this is what you are also most bothered when you fill the fuel onto the vehicle. So solenoid, electromechanical valve, this is where the fuel is getting converted. This is the core content of calculating the mileage. Yeah. So this content goes on, engine power is getting produced, and you keep driving. Different roads, different power is required. Drivers experts, or when you drive it you become the expert day by day, and you get the power. So but anticipation is one important thing. We can also waste energy, we can also save energy. So one good example how to drive it very well, a good driver, how a good driver should behave. Assume I am driving on the road, I just see a curve or a bump, or there is a speed breaker. At 30 feet distance, I just keep accelerating. When I see there is a speed breaker, anyway it should not drive it faster, so I leave the accelerator pedal. So 50 kmph, the vehicle runs towards the bump, but I'm not going to press that pedal. So it comes to 30 kmph or 45 kmph, 30 kmph, it keeps on dropping. So vehicle is driving the engine. So over, and as I mentioned, zero fuel is used. So with zero fuel, almost say for 50 feet I am just running without the fuel. So vehicle is running on its own, engine is alive. This is very important thing. So 25 feet if I go, still I maintain the same because I have still more distance. Don't press the brake, because anyway vehicle will be decelerating. So vehicle is decelerating, I am going close. If I am going very close to track pedal, of course I have to press the brake. No other choice, because anyway I have to negotiate a turn, or I have to cross the bump. So I will apply a brake, and based on the brake the vehicle slows down and you can just cross the speed breaker, then you can accelerate whatever you wanted. So the sequence has been mentioned. when you are at very high speed, when you see anything which is an obstacle, just don't accelerate, try to coast down, or just make the vehicle to run on its own with zero fuel, use the inertia force. So this is the activity, or this is the way a good driver behaves, and this is how you get a more mileage for the vehicles. Now this cannot be all the case. Sometimes you also do it very harsh trading, so what can go wrong? So the question is, all those things can save fuel, but what else cannot save fuel? Yeah, so then comes the question, what can go wrong? What can go wrong? Same situation, same condition. I just see a speed breaker at some distance. I keep accelerating very fast because I'm very far from the speed breaker. So I'm driving very fast, going very closer to the speed breaker. I'm seeing, okay, speed breaker is ahead of it. So I just suddenly try to brake because I'm just very closer to the speed breaker. So I didn't brake it earlier. When I came very closer to the speed breaker or obstacles or a curve, and then I brake it. So I waste all the energy. I have not even utilized the overrun. This is very important. So overrun is a place where I told like zero fuel is there, so you will get more mileage out of a vehicle, but I have not utilized anything on here. So this is the way where you don't save the energy, it is a waste of your energy. So this is the driver behavior which is not right. So giving more detail how to get a more mileage, a graphical representation of it. Let us see how can you do it. Same assumption in the form of graph. Let's see, a good driver is driving at 50 kmph. He saw obstacle somewhere at very far. Now he just doesn't press the act pedal. So overrun condition is there. He is always getting very good mileage. 99 kmpl. 99 kmpl is very high for a diesel or a petrol engine. Everyone knows it. So I save energy. It comes down. So as I mentioned, when I will go very closer to the speed breaker, then I will anyway have to press it. No doubt on that. But till then, 99 kmpl. It can be even. It's an infinite value. The cluster or the vehicles are designed such a way that double digit, so it shows 99. Otherwise it can show even 100 kmpl if you are not using any fuel. So bad driver, as I said, even seeing speed breaker, he will be keep on driving. So 20 kmpl maximum for engine is able to do it. We just utilize that every time. So I miss here this 99 kmpl here because I have not made the vehicle to run the engine. That overrun condition I have not used, because even though I saw the accelerator pedal is being pressed, even though I saw the speed breaker or a curve or a vehicle in front of it is running, I didn't anticipate it much, or I just ignored it and I keep on accelerating. Just going very closer to the vehicle or a speed breaker, I just press the brake. So then when it comes to 10 kmph, you can see that the mileage still drops. So average, if you see here, it's 20 kmpl or 15 kmpl. So I don't get that 99 kmpl because when I'm driving the vehicle, if I get 99 kmpl and sometimes at 20 kmpl, my average will be closer to 30 to 40 kmpl I will get it. But here the bad driver will not have that option. He will be maximum getting 20 kmpl or 15 kmpl in this case. So mileage is very poor. This is one of the typical example where how the bad driver behaves. So bad driver, less mileage, you are even struggling the engine. Yeah. So anticipate it, get a good mileage. There is other tips as I mentioned. Try to follow this. Get a 5-star. There are a lot of systems which say how your driving is, so you get a 5-star. So try to follow gear shift pattern. This is one example which I am driving it. I am showing how I behave at the speed breaker. I just saw on a straight road there is some speed breaker available. I just went very closer to it, and I am also showing how my instantaneous fuel consumption is showing my vehicle. So if you see here, the fuel varies here and there, but instantaneous fuel consumption was 14, then it becomes 20, it becomes 50, because I am trying to utilize maximum possible overrun. 31 kmpl is again a really good number. So most important thing here is you have to look into how the engine behaves. As I told the graph, the better mileage area we have to utilize. So try to follow a better place where the engine behaves. One suggestion from my side is, for a gasoline or a petrol engine, the sweet spot where you get high mileage is 1000 rpm to 2000 rpm. So try to operate closer to 2000 rpm, not more than that. So you really get a good mileage in a petrol vehicles or a gasoline vehicles. So you can get even 20 to 25 km per liter. This is possible. Then coming to diesel. Diesel are slightly different properties because of their engine. So I suggest approximately 1500 rpm. If you keep driving your vehicle, you get a better mileage or SFC, specific fuel consumption. So this is what a general theory of it. some vehicles there is a suggestions or a gear change patterns which will be shown onto the vehicle, you can follow, but mostly the diesel engines approximately 1500 rpm, even slightly above is good based on the manufacturer and also how they have designed the vehicles. Diesel engine is going to have comparatively higher mileage because it's a lean burn engine, everyone knows it. So how do we drive all these areas? Anyway, some vehicles gets this instantaneous fuel consumption display as I showed it in my car. So this will give you an idea where you are operating. So try to operate in such a way that the engine operating zone, so I suggest to see more into the engine speed compared to the vehicle speed. Try to operate in that area and give a appropriate gear change pattern. Try to anticipate it and drive it, so allow the vehicle to run and use the inertia of the vehicle whenever you want to come down. So on other side, don't accelerate too much when you want to increase your speed. This both tips will help you to get more mileage or more fuel consumption. So per liter, how many kilometers you drive the vehicle, you can have a better benefit. Here is one example where I got 99 km per liter, where I fully utilized the vehicle inertia when I saw an obstacle in front of me or a car going in front of me. So this is one of the suggestion or what I have been experiencing when I am driving it. So many terms we learned today. This will be helpful for your career, I believe. So these terms we spoke about in past 10 minutes, lot of topics, lot of points, and more detail you can browse to it. But these were the topics which will be important when somebody speaks about the vehicle control systems or how to get a mileage. Here we also spoke about electronic control or software is used to calculate the mileage. So lot many things we have learned in past 10 minutes. In the similar fashion, let us understand and use it this in terms for a career. I also plan lot of session in few upcoming, more on software, mechanical design, how to drive it, how to get a mileage, how to save the fuel, and more about also the emission norms, what is coming on the front. So these many topics also there in my web page. You can just have a look into it, or in the YouTube series you can just browse through these topics. I have already covered lot many points. So please message me here or comment it below. I can take still more interesting topic to take it forward. I will also try to cover more on the future technologies or more about the engineering. So this area is more about the engineering more than the commercial aspect, and telling what is background of the commercial things. So more about the technical, the engineering behind it. Hope it will be useful for you. Please subscribe my channel so that the topic what I have mentioned earlier you can be aware of, and you can, whenever you get a notified because of your subscription. And also don't forget to like my video and